preacher was standing at the front of the hall. The bride looked nervous in her lace and all, but the groom came stumbling down the aisle that day with a jug in his hand, yelling, "Hooray, hooray, hooray!" It was moonshine and matrimony, Lord, what a sight. He kissed the bridesmaid and started a fight. The vows got slurred and the rings hit the floor. He hollered one more round and staggered out the door. Moonshine and matrimony don't mix too well, but it sure made a wedding they'll all live to tell. Mama's crying and Daddy's grabbing his gun. The band kept playing like the party's begun. Uncle Joe passed out in the wedding cake, and the best man danced till the barn floor quaked. It was moonshine and matrimony don't mix too well, but it sure made a wedding they'll all live to tell. Mama's crying, Daddy's grabbing his gun. The band kept playing like the party's begun. Uncle Joe passed out in the wedding cake, and the best man danced till the barn floor quaked. It was moonshine and matrimony, chaos and cheer. The bride was screaming, "Why'd I bring him here?" He dropped the ring in a mason jar, raised a toast to the moon and shouted, "To the barn, moonshine and matrimony, a backwoods tale where the love went sour and the whiskey prevailed." Now some folks say love is sweet like corn on the cob or honey to eat, but love and liquor hand in hand will turn I do into I don't understand. By midnight the chapel looked worse for wear. Hay bales toppled and punch in the air. The bride rode off in her cousin's old Ford, while the groom kept singing to the outhouse door. Moonshine and matrimony, bless their poor souls. The story got bigger than the preacher's rolls. They never made it past husband and wife, but they sure made memories for the rest of their life. Moonshine and matrimony, wild and free, just another broken vow in hillbilly history. So if you're planning love, take this advice: don't let corn liquor roll the dice, 'cause moonshine and matrimony ain't meant to blend. It'll start a good party, but it won't never end. Set up the altar by the old oak tree, chairs in the pasture, just you and me. Sunshine was shining, the sky looking clear. Then the storm clouds rolled in when you said, "I'm here." And the ring got lost in the mud that day, somewhere between the vows and the preacher's prayer. Your mama was screaming, your daddy cussed, grandma slipped down in the mess and fuss. Yeah, the ring got lost and so did we, in a puddle of chaos where love's supposed to be. Bridesmaid's dress tore clean at the seam. The groomsman fell drunk in the old creek stream. The band kept playing though the speakers fried, while Cousin Earl's truck blocked the bride's side. And the ring got lost in the mud, oh Lord, along with the Bible the preacher adored. The cake fell over, the tent blew away, the doves flew off and refused to stay. Yeah, the ring got lost and so did we, drowning in rain on bended knee. They say true love will weather the storm, but we were just trying to keep warm. You laughed through the tears, I held your hand, barefoot together in the drenched farmland. By midnight the guests had all gone home. We sat in the mud, just us alone. No gold on your finger, but I still knew for forever, don't need a diamond to prove. Yeah, the ring got lost in the mud that night, but your smile was glowing in the pale moonlight. We kissed in the rain, no vows to rehearse, just two muddy hearts and a love unrehearsed. Yeah, the ring got lost, but we found us in a field full of rain, in a mess we trust. So if you're waiting on perfect, it won't ever come. Love's in the chaos where the river runs. The ring got lost in the mud, it's true, but I still said I do to you. By midnight, the guests had all gone home. We were just trying to keep warm. You laughed through the tears, I held your hand, barefoot together in a drenched farmland. By midnight, the guests had all gone home. We sat in the mud, just us alone. You laughed through the tears, I held your hand, barefoot together in a drenched farmland. By midnight, the guests had all gone home. We sat in the mud, just us alone. No gold on your finger, but I still knew forever, don't need in the drenched farmland. By midnight, the guests had all gone home, but your smile in the mud, just us alone. No gold on your finger, but I still knew forever, don't need a diamond to prove.
The table was set with fried chicken and beans. Banjo was playing, folks wearing their jeans. Mama baked cornbread golden warm, but thunder was brewing before the storm. Cornbread and heartbreak, that's what we got. Love on the stove, but the family ran hot. The vows were forgotten, the fight took the stage, and our wedding day turned into a cage. Cornbread and heartbreak, bitter and sweet. The love can't rise steady when the fire's got no heat. Daddy said the groom ain't good enough kin. Uncle Joe threw whiskey, the fight jumped in. Sister slapped cousin, the band walked away. The preacher just sighed and refused to stay. Cornbread and heartbreak, passing the pain. Sweet turned sour like a runaway train. The kiss was stolen by a table flipped, and the gravy boat took another trip. Cornbread and heartbreak, Lord, what a mess. Family feuds don't stop in a wedding dress. I want it, I do, I got don't you dare. I want it forever, they just stood and stared. Sometimes blood runs colder than stone. The bride feels merry but still alone. Cornbread and heartbreak, bitter and sweet. Love can't rise steady when the fire's go. Love can't rise steady when the fight. But we walked away with love in our eyes, leaving the drama to their bitter goodbyes. Cornbread and heartbreak, bitter and sweet, bitter and sweet. Love can't rise, bitter and sweet. Love can't rise steady when the fire's got no heat. So let them fight, let the old wounds show. Cornbread may crumble, but love will still grow. Cornbread and heartbreak, that's what they gave, but we carved out a life from the mess they made.
Bible in his hand, the bride stood waiting, lacing wedding band. But before he could say, "Be, take this man," the back door slammed open with a furious stand. Shotgun in the chapel, Lord, what a scene. The love turned to trouble where the vow should have been. Cousin drew a pistol, uncle raised his fist. The groom hit the floor and the bride screamed, "This ain't bliss." Shotgun in the chapel, chaos and fear. The wedding bells rang, but nothing holy here. Daddy shouted, "Boy, you ain't good enough kin." Mama fainted dead before the fight could again. The best man ducked as the bottles flew, and the bridesmaid cried, "What's a girl to do?" Shotgun in the chapel, vows turned to dust, promises broken in a cloud of mistrust. The preacher kept praying, "Lord, save this mess," but the Lord shook his head at the Sunday dress. Shotgun in the chapel where dreams got stained, and forever was lost like a runaway train. Some say love can conquer hate, but that church house turned into fate. Instead of "I do," we heard the roar of boots and fists hitting the floor. By sundown the pews were broken into, the stained glass shattered where the bullets flew. The bride ran off with her tears in the rain, and the groom nursed a shiner he'd never explain. Shotgun in the chapel, chaos and fear. The wedding bells rang, but nothing holy here. The ring never settled on her left hand, just a story of ruin and a small town band. Shotgun in the chapel, no holy vow, just a memory of love that couldn't be found. So if you hear wedding bells, pray they ring true, that no shotgun comes crashing before I do. The church bells rang on a hot July day. The bride walked in, veil floating her way. But just as the preacher said, "Do you take this man?" her daddy stood up with a bottle in his hand. "Daddy's not happy, honey," and the truth hit hard. He flipped the table over, nearly crashed the car. Said, "That boy ain't worthy, don't you say I do," with a shotgun glare and a wildlife view. "Daddy's not happy, honey, Lord, what a scene." Turned the wedding day sweet into a small town meme. The groom backed up, rain falling to the floor, while Mama dragged Daddy halfway to the door. Uncle Joe hollered to let the man be wed, but Daddy just shouted, "Over my dead head." Daddy's not happy, honey, raising Cain, knocking over punch bowls, spilling champagne. And the vows got drowned by holler and fight, and the band kept playing like a Saturday night. Daddy's not happy, honey, temper on fire, burned the wedding candles down to the wire. Now love's a wild river, and it can't be tamed, but Daddy swore he'd never bless my name. Sometimes blood and heart don't see the same, but I chose love just the same. By sundown the chapel was empty and torn, rice in the mud and the bouquet worn. We drove off fast in a beat-up Ford, leaving Daddy behind with his angry soul. Daddy's not happy, honey, but we still kissed, made a brand new life out of all he missed. The road was rough, but our love stayed true. No shotgun glare could stop I do. Daddy's not happy, honey, but that's okay, 'cause I'll love you more every broken day. So when they ask about the wedding we had, I'll have to say it was good and bad, bad. Daddy's not happy, honey, but we sure are, running down the highway in a getaway car. We were young and wild on a Friday night, tailgate down in the pale moonlight. You swore forever, wept a kiss so true, said, "Girl, there ain't nothing I won't do for you." But pickup truck promises don't always hold. They rust in the rain, they failed in the cold. What felt like forever was gone in a day. Love on the back road just drifted away. Pickup truck promises, cheap and fast, a tank full of dreams that don't ever last. We carved our names in the dashboard dust, swore that our love was stronger stronger than rust. The miles rolled on and the engine gave out, just like our hearts filled with fear and doubt. Pickup truck promises, cheap and fast, a tank full of dreams that don't ever last. We carved our names in the dashboard dust, swore that our love was stronger than rust. But miles rolled on and the engine gave out, just like our hearts filled with fear and doubt. Pickup truck promises, easy to say, but hard to keep when the road runs away. Maybe I wanted too much from a dream, believing in words that weren't what they seem. Forever's a road that takes more than an hour, but it can't hold steady come the morning light. Now the bed of that Chevy is empty and cold. The story of us is already old. I still hear your voice in the whine of the gears, but it's drowned by the sound of my lonesome tears. Pickup truck promises left me behind, a love in the rear view I can't rewind. What we built on the back road, it faded too fast. A tank full of memories, a love that won't last. Pickup truck promises, dust on the breeze, gone like the sunset through the pine trees. So if you swear forever from a tailgate seat, make sure your heart's got more than the heat. Pickup truck promises, I've learned my fate. They drive off quick and they don't wait.
We cleared out the hay bales, hung the lights high, straw on the floor, fiddles ready to fight. The bride kicked off her heels, the groom lost his tie, and Uncle Joe shouted, let the whiskey supply. It's a barn dance breakdown, Lord, what a sight. Moonshine flowing, fists starting fights. Bride's bells tangled, the groom's on the ground. Love turned to chaos when the fiddles played loud. Barn dance breakdown, wild and free. Wedding gone sideways in hillbilly history. Grandma spun circles till she hit the wall. Cousin Earl tried to two-step, tripped and made a brawl. The hogs broke loose from the pen out back, while the banjo man played till the strings all cracked. It's a barn dance breakdown, nobody's sitting. Tables overturned and the cornbread's missing. Bride's crying laughter, the groom's half gone, but the whole dang family kept singing along. Barn dance breakdown, pure delight. Trouble never looked so fun tonight. Now love's supposed to be tender and sweet, but we stomped out vows with our muddy feet. It forever begins with a punch and a spin, then this barn's the place where legends begin. It's a barn dance breakdown, nobody's sight. Moonshine flowing, fists starting fights. The bride's bells tangled, the groom's on the ground. Love turned to chaos when the fiddles played loud. Barn dance breakdown, wild and free. A wedding gone sideways in hillbilly history. Grandma spun circles till she hit the wall. Cousin Earl tried to two-step, tripped and made a brawl. The hogs broke loose from the pen out back, while the banjo man played till the strings all cracked. Barn dance breakdown, pure delight. Trouble never looked so fun tonight. Now love spun circles till she hit the wall. Grandma spun circles till she hit the wall. Cousin Earl tried to two-step, tripped and made a brawl. Her hogs broke loose from the pen out back, while the banjo man played till the strings all cracked. Barn dance breakdown, pure delight today, when love and madness found a fiddler to play.
stood in the meadow by the white oak tree. The preacher said, "Child, will you marry me?" But the sky turned black, the wind rolled low, and the storm inside us started to show. Vows in a tornado, blowing apart. Shingles and promises breaking my heart. The dress took flight, the reins hit the ground. I forever got lost in the deafening sound. Vows in a tornado, wild and untrue. The storm took me farther and farther from you. Your mama was crying, the guests all fled. Hay bales flying in the sky, burning red. I held your hand, but you let go fast. Like the funnel cloud, our love couldn't last. Vows in a tornado, scattered and gone. Preacher's words lost in the thunder song. You looked at me through the wind and rain, but your eyes said goodbye in the heart of the pain. Vows in a tornado, swept through the air. I reached for forever, but you weren't there. They say storms will pass and clear skies remain, but some leave nothing but wreckage and pain. Our chapel was sky, our altar the field, but the love we swore on could never be sealed. By morning the barn was torn in two. The pews lay scattered where the wild winds blew. I found the ring in the mud by the road, but the promise we made was too heavy a load. Vows in a tornado, gone with the wind. What started in love met a violent end. The storm moved on, but it left me behind with a trail of sorrow I'll never unwind. Vows in a tornado, fierce and undone. Our forever got lost neath the dark, twisted sun. So if you swear love when the winds start to blow, pray the storm spares you what I know. 'Cause vows in a tornado don't ever survive. They'll tear down your heart and swallow it alive. We stood in the meadow by the white oak tree. The preacher said, "Child, will you marry me?" But the sky turned black, the wind rolled low, and the storm inside us started to show. Vows in a tornado, blowing apart. Shingles and promises breaking my heart. The dress took flight, the reins hit the ground, but the promise we made, but the promise we made, but the love we swore on could never be sealed. By morning the barn was torn in two. The pews lay scattered where the wild winds blew. I found the ring in the mud by the road, but the promise we made, but the promise we made was too heavy a load. Bye. The church was full, the fiddles played sweet. White lace dress and boots on my feet. The preacher said, "Child, will you take this man?" But that's when the whispers through the crowd began. Sheet and cousin at the altar, Lord, what a shame. Secrets and lies set the whole place aflame. The vows fell silent, the truth rang clear. A family scandal we didn't want to hear. Cheating cousin at the altar, tears on the floor, and love walked out through the chapel door. Turns out my groom had a backwoods sin, sneaking round nights with my own blood kin. Ain't no I do when the truth comes down, just gasps and shouts from a small town crowd. Cheating cousin at the altar, Lord have mercy. Drama in the pews like a honky-tonk story. Mama fainted, Daddy pulled his gun, and Grandma screamed, "This wedding's done." Cheating cousin at ever got broken in a holy place. They say love's blind, but I should have seen the late night calls and the guilty scene. The sun lies hide in the family tree till the preacher says, do you take? And you flee. By sundown the rice was soaked in tears. The ring lay lost in a pile of fears. The cousin ran out, the groom ran too, and I walked away in my cowgirl shoes. Cheating cousin at the altar, hearts turn cold. A story of betrayal that'll always be told. The vows got buried in the churchyard dust, and I traded I do for a broken trust. Cheating cousin at the altar, never again. I'll take freedom over faithless men. So if you're standing with a man who lies, watch the family secrets in his eyes. Cheating cousin at the altar, torn apart, but I walked away with my old freed heart. We set up the barn with lights and hay, sun shining bright on our wedding day. But before I could say I do, I swear, a spilled drink hit your dress, and folks stopped to stare. Hiccups and heartaches, Lord, what a mess. Love went sideways in a Sunday dress. The cake got smashed, the band lost a tune, and the groom slipped down in the muddy saloon. Hiccups and heartaches, laughing through tears, kind of chaos you only get once in years. Uncle Joe snored in the punch bowl beef, while Grandma tripped over a jar of sweet tea. The bride's bouquet flew right out the door, and Cousin Earl danced with the neighbor's dog on the floor. Hiccups and heartaches, tumble and fall, we laughed and we cried through it all. The vows got twisted, the rings went astray, but somehow our love made it anyway. Hiccups and heartaches, chaos and cheer, but when like this, you won't forget, dear, dear. Some say a wedding should be perfect and neat, but ours was a story of mud on our feet. Spilled drinks, busted chairs, and broken hearts. We found our forever in all the parts. By midnight, the barn smelled like hay and tears. The fireflies danced the night calm fears. We held each other as the last song played, laughing at all the havoc the family made. Hiccups and heartaches, memories bright, even broken moments feel just right. The cake may be gone, the floor all wet, but the best day ever we'll never forget. Hiccups and heartaches, love won the day in our messy, muddy, perfect way. So here's to the love that survives the storm, the laughter and tears in every form. Hiccups and heartaches, we'll toast them all. Our wedding may stumble, but love stood tall.